Okay, and today's material would be the polymorphism subject. As I already mentioned that the current material will be quite difficult. So I do really need you all to understand the material better, and please try to improve your understanding by doing some exercise. And of course, if you have some difficulties, it is okay for you to ask anytime and anywhere. And today material we will be discuss about polymorphism, okay, where the polymorphism itself previously some of the polymorphism concept have already explained. It was overriding and overloading. Okay, overriding and overloading was part of the polymorphism concept. Why did this subject being given for you before the polymorphism subject? Because it is necessarily for you to understand the overriding and overloading concept before you study or you learn about abstract and interface. As you know that abstract class and interface both are using the overriding concept. So that is why we need to separate several concept in polymorphism and give you early, because it is to support the abstract and interface class. But the overriding and overloading concept or subject will also be explained just a little bit to give some additional information regarding the overriding and overloading concept. So this today's course will be consist of 5 subjects, which is the first one will be the definition of polymorphism, and we will discuss about static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. Also, the new one would be the polymorphic argument, and the most important one would be the keyword of instance of. So two of these one, static and dynamic polymorphism, is actually the overriding and overloading method. And the polymorphic argument will be I will give you detailed explanation regarding to this, but I believe you already tried this in the at the interface concept, where you are using the class keyword, class type as the argument or parameter. And of course, this is the new one, the instance. And firstly, we will try to discuss regarding to the definition. The definition of polymorphism is you can have a various form. It means that class can be changed into a various form. There is no static, or there is no the class itself can change from one type into another type. That's the meaning of the form. So it means that you can change the type of a class into another class. So this is a new thing for you. And also, the polymorphism in object-oriented programming is the ability to have several different of class form. And basically, all classes in Java are polymorphic type. Means that you already implement this kind of changing or this kind of movement, because all of the class was apart from the class itself. So Java basically have one general class called the object class. This is the object class. So this is the general class created by Java. So based from this class, you will derive the class that you created or the class that you are reference. So basically, you are already using this kind of activity, but you just don't realize that you are using this kind of activity. So basically, all the class in Java are polymorphic. Means that all the class can change into another form. As an analogy or a basic thinking, we have a class animal and we also have a cat class. Okay, where a cat class was derived from an animal class. So it's mean that all the cat are animals, but not all animals are cats. So you can say that when you are created the animal class, you can also include the cat object inside it. But when you are in creating a cat class, means that you can also call cat as a cat, and you can also call cat as an animal. So cat as an animal is a general concept, but you can also cat is an animal. But we cannot say that animal is only cat, because animal can be consist of any other object. So by having this kind of concept, you can always change the form of a class into another class only when they are inherited each other. So the polymorphism concept can only be applied to a hierarchical class. Okay. So you can change the form of a cat into animals, and also you can change the animal into cat and vice versa. Okay. But you cannot change, let's say, human into this class, or even vice versa, because they are not inherited each other. So the basic concept of polymorphism is changing form between class as long as they are inherited each other. Okay. And the example of polymorphism in the real world. Let's say we have a human. Every human can eat all kind of fruit. Okay. So human have a method that eating fruit. So the parameter of this activity would be fruit. But even though that human can eat every fruit, but it will be differentiated the way how they doing or conducting the eating process. So let's say we have an apple and we also have banana. For an apple, we can eat the fruit directly without need necessarily to peel. We don't have to peel it first. Okay, but it will be different kind of ways when we are eating the bananas. We need to peel the skin first, and then we eat the fruit inside the banana peel. So even though that we have a eating activity, but when we are dealing with a different fruit, so we will have a different type of eating. So previously, you already know that we can always overriding the method by differentiate the parameter inside it. So when we create the human eating banana, and we also can create a human eating apple. So we can always override all the method inside it. But by using the polymorphism and another concept, we can change this kind of programming type into simplicity in a simple way. So we only create one eating method, and we only create one parameter, but we will differentiate the method. We will differentiate the method inside by using the keyword of instance of later on. The type of polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphism. Firstly, called the static polymorphism. The static polymorphism will be representing the overloading method. And for the dynamic polymorphism, will be representing the overriding method. So previously you only know the overloading and overriding method. But basically they are part of polymorphism where the overloading method will be called as a static polymorphism, and for the overriding method will be called as a dynamic polymorphism. Why is the overriding method dynamic? Because as you know that you can use a same method name, and also you have to have similar or the same assignator, a same assignator also, or a parameter. So that is why by having this kind of condition, it will be called as a dynamic. But unlike the overloading, where it is only mandatory for you to use the same name method, but you are encouraged to use the different kind of signator with different signator in number or in type, and also in for the position. Okay, firstly, I would like to explain about the static polymorphism, which is the overloading. Okay, so basically you already know how the overloading works. It is a several method with the same name but having a different signature in one class. So other things, the other differentiation between the static or overloading method and the dynamic or the overriding method is the overloading method. Okay, the overloading method can be used in both superclass or subclass. This is for overloading. But for overriding, it can only be used for the subclass only. Okay, so the overriding method can only be implemented in a subclass class. So this is one other differentiation between the overriding and overloading. And also, sorry. In Java, when you are compiling the overloading method, Java will try to classify the method by trying to match the signature of the called method. So therefore, static polymorphism is also called as a compile time polymorphism or a static binding. So before the method being called by Java, the Java will try to match the signature that being given in each method. This is the example of static polymorphism. As you know, it has to have same name, but it have to have a different signature for each method. It should be different in number. Like this one have 2 signature and this method has 3 signature. It's different. And for the third method, it has 2. It also have 2 number of signature, but the type is different, so it is allowed. And also for the fourth method, it has also 2 argument, but with a different position with others. So this is okay for you to create an overloading method by using this kind of way. So the next one would be the dynamic polymorphism. The dynamic polymorphism will occur when there is a creation of an object of a type a parent class, but calling a subclass constructor, and an overriding method is called. So let's say previously, when you are creating overriding method, you can only differentiation the method inside for the parent class and subclass. But this explanation will also explain to you that you can also having a different constructor method. So it is only override the method in the parent class that being changed in a subclass, but it is also a dynamic polymorphism or an overriding polymorphism can also used to change the parent constructor into a subclass constructor. So let's say we are creating an object from the parent constructor, from the parent class type, but this object was created by calling the subclass constructor. So this is okay, and this is allowed. So this is part of polymorphism, because even though that this object was using the parent class type, this object can be filling up by using the subclass constructor method. So this can only be implied when only when you are using the inheritance concept. So it is okay for you to create an object based from this type, from the parent type, but you are calling the method from the subclass constructor. So this example, the object is coming from the employee, but calling the manager constructor. That said that the EMP object is a type of employee, but holding the manager reference. So please understand this concept, because it will help you a lot when you are creating the program by using the object-oriented concept. So another example would be, let's say we have a superclass called vehicle. It has one method where when we call the method, then it will say that vehicle can move. And we also create another subclass that is extended from the vehicle class. and it also have a method which is overriding the parent method by having a different activity where in the subclass method the printout monitor would be motorbike can move and accelerate too. So when we are implementing this class, let's say that we have the VH object, which is having the vehicle type. And then we try to put the reference from the motorbike constructor, which is the subclass. This is the subclass, and this is the mother class. So when we are calling the move method, then the move method will be coming from the subclass, even though that this object was the mother class type or mother class reference type. So if we wanted to change the object back to the original one or back into the mother class, then we can simply give this this code. So we can define VH equals to new vehicle, which is the mother class constructor. Then when we are calling the method of moving, then the method will be coming from the the mother class. So as you can see that the first object was the subclass type and holding the reference from the motorbike class or the subclass class. And then we call the move method. So when the method was executed, then it will be coming from the subclass class method. Then we can return the reference into the vehicle by conducting or by calling the mother class constructor. So it will be returned into the mother class method. So by having this kind of condition or by having this kind of programming code, okay, means that, so this is the result of the programming code. Please keep this kind of activity in your mind, so this can solve and it can solve a lot of problematic in programming, and also it can simplify how you create your programming code. As being gave the example previously, I gave you the link regarding to the phone class, where it was derived into another class, another specific class. So when you are creating the phone as the parameter, you can also put the subclass object into the parameter. So by having this kind of condition, it will be simplified your programming code, and also will have a strong argument or a strong, also will have a strong definition in programming. Sorry, having a so another one important thing is the polymorphic argument. The previous example actually describe or shows you how the polymorphic argument works. The polymorphic argument stands for a parameter that accepts a value of a subclass type. Okay, so basically, when you are dealing with that kind of the previous explanation, you are actually dealing with this concept, polymorphic arguments. So let's say we have an employee class. Okay, this is employee. We also have a manager class that extend from the employee. So when we are creating a manager of a main object from a manager class, okay, and then we try to create the process method, but as you know that inside this method we have a pack object as a signator where it was referencing the pegawai class, but we put the subclass object into the mother class object. It is also okay. So okay, I will try to repeat the explanation one more time. So pegawai or employee is a mother class or superclass. Manager is a subclass or a child class where it extends from the mother class or pegawai or employee. And then we have a testing class where it has one method called process, okay, and it also have one argument or one signator, which is referencing from the mother class object. Okay, and when we are creating a main method, let's say we are creating a main object from a subclass. Okay, and then we call the process method and giving the main object as the parameter. Okay, this is the subclass. Main is a subclass, but the required argument should be coming from the mother class. So this kind of activity is allowed in polymorphism concept as long as they are inherit each other. If they are not inherit, then this kind of activity will not be allowed. So the keyword is the inheritance activity or the inheritance concept. And the last one, or the last explanation would be the instance of statement. So why do this statement is very important? The instance of statement is very important because it is very useful for you to know where the origin type of a polymorphic arguments coming from. Okay, I will give you a short brief explanation. Let's say we have a fruit, a general class called fruit, and then those fruit will be derived into apple, and then the fruit will also be derived into banana. So we have two subclass. So when we are calling an eating method that is using the fruit argument or the fruit parameter, when we put the apple object inside the fruit, then we cannot know what kind of form does this fruit coming from, or what kind of form does this fruit implemented from, because the object of the fruit is coming from the sorry, this is not good. This is an incomplete. So we have a eating method. we have an eating method that using the fruit class as the argument. Okay, object F is referencing the fruit. So when we are creating, this is apple and this is banana. So when we are creating a object from apple, and then we are calling the method, let's say eating, we are throwing the a object. It means that a is an apple, but we throw it into this argument. So when we are trying to define, sorry, not a, when we are trying to use the f was built or was constructed from the fruit class. So it has only the fruit characteristic. So even though that we are sending the a, but because the form of a is still in fruit, so we do not know what is the type of a in general. So it is very important for you to know the type of this argument by using the instant of. So, but if we test instant of, what is the instant of a, we can knowing that by using this argument, and then if the a fit with apple, and then we conduct another a different kind of activity. So this is will be explained in general. Okay, let's say we have a general class called pegawai or employee, and then we create another class called manager, which is extend from pegawai, and also we define another class called courier or expeditor, extend pegawai. So we have, basically we are having two subclass, three classes. We have two classes was a subclass of a employee class. So having this kind of condition, when we are trying to process, okay, where the argument coming from the superclass, okay, so the input structure will be belong to the superclass, but we are sending the subclass object. Okay, so even though that we are sending the subclass object, but we are putting this object into the superclass object. So the pack object, it's the, we cannot know or what is the instance of the pack object coming from. Okay, so we need to test, or we need to create several testing method by using the instance of. If the pack object was instance of manager, then we conduct the manager activity. But if the pack object was coming from our instance of courier, then it will be conducting the expedition task. Okay, so the keyword instant of used to get the real instance of an object. As you know, and as I already explained, the pack object was created from a superclass type. So when we use this type, and so when we use the object, the form of this object is still in the form of superclass. But Java allows you to find out the original object was coming from which object by using the instant of keyword. So you can differentiate differentiate the script by following the task of each object. And another important thing in polymorphism is the casting object. What is casting object? It's already been explained previously in the first page or the second page. Means that you can change an object into another object type. Okay, as long as, of course, as long as they are inherited in each other. So when do we use this casting object? Oftenly, it is the casting object will be used when we are implementing the instance of a method. So when we find out where do this object coming from, then if we wanted to use the original object, then we need to cast the object. So let's say if we find out that the pegawai or the employee object was instance of the manager, and then we can create an object, let's say manager, and then the object itself will be casted from a pegawai object where we cast into the manager type. So this is the casting method. So it means that previously pegawai or employee object was the type of this one. But having this kind of activity means that the pegawai will be implementing the manager constructor. So all of the attribute and all of the method will be coming from the manager class. So it also imply for the courier or the expeditor, you can always casting them into the form, into another form. And you have to remember the keyword or the basic keywords should be in the form of inheritance. So you can always casting the object between the inherited class. Another example in polymorphism and casting object. Okay, let's say we have a fruit object. This is apple, and this is banana, and this is human. This is taste, and this is the method coming from a different object. Okay, this is the constructor itself. Okay, this is showing the seed, and this is showing the pills. This is showing the seed. This is showing the the pills. So apple and banana have a different kind of activity. Okay, even though that they are coming from the same fruit class. And also we have a human that have a method to eat those fruit, So this is coming from the general class. So the programming code will be like this. We have a general class called fruit or buah. We have it has one attribute which is taste. And we create another subclass called apple, which is extended from fruit class. And we also create another object called banana, and also extending from the fruit class. Inside those subject, inside those subclass, they are having a different activity. Let's say we create a constructor for apple, where the taste would be sweet, but will be a little bit sour. Okay. And another one would be showing off the seed. When we create, implement, or we are calling the showing the seed method, then it will set that the seed inside the apple having a small size. But unlike in banana, where the taste would be like a little bit bitter or sour, and it also have a different method showing the peel. So it will be showing, or will be printing the banana peels color would be yellow. And we have a human. Another class would be we having the human class, where the human class having only one method, which is eating fruit. As you can see, we are using the fruit class as the argument or as the parameter inside the eating method. Firstly, we are testing whether the fruit object was coming from the apple object or not. If it's coming from the apple object, then we are casting the object into apple, and then we can run the method inside the apple object. Okay, but if the object was instance of banana, and then we are casting the eggs into a banana class, and then we can call the method inside the banana. So as you can see, the eggs can the X object are able to run or to call the apple or the banana object after the object has been casting into those specific class. So having this kind of condition will allow you to have a single object but having a different type. Okay. So when we are testing, let's say we have a human called Ilham, we call the constructor, and then we create my apple object that is coming from the apple class, and also the banana, my pisang object coming from the banana class or pisang. When Ilham eating the fruit, it is eating the pisang object. So it should be peeling the yellow, the banana peel will result in yellow and the taste will be bitter or sour. So this is how you simplified the programming method by implementing the polymorphism concept. And to increase your understanding, I hope that you will follow this exercise. I will give you 2 exercises. The first exercise was coming from the employee. The first exercise will be involving 3 classes. The first class would be employee, and then the subclass would be the manager and the programmer. When in employee, we have the 2 different attributes. The first one would be the name and the salary. And for the method of the class would be constructor, 2 different constructor, and getting the salary. And for the manager itself, it will have a beneficiary and also have a bonus. The manager will also consist of 1 constructor following with the programmer, and it will also modify or overload the GetGaji. Okay, and also getting the tunjangan itself. Okay, sorry, this is not overriding. This is calling the GetGaji belongs to the parent. And hopefully you can try to implement this code, and please try to modify the code to support your understanding regarding to the polymorphism concept. Try to show the result like this one. For the manager, the salary would be 850, and for the salary for the programmers would be 630. Even though in rupiahs or dollar or something else, it is okay. And for the second exercise, we will be involving 4 class. This is similar with the fruit class being explained before. So we have a human class, but the case will be different. We will be using the electronic class, and it will be derived into an old television, and for another subclass will be a modern television. And this is the programming, the main class programming. You are expected to create an object from the human class, and then another object coming from a old television and coming from a modern television. And please try to implement the method for the new television and for the old television and the modern television, and hopefully they will have a different method result, where for the old television, the input type will be coming from DVI, unlike the modern method, unlike the modern television, where the input type will be coming from the HDMI input type. So that will be the end of the subject, polymorphism subject.